We are here today for Chain Reaction project. Chain reaction is a process that started in 2019 and that with the COVID opportunity, we understood that we don't know each other enough and sometimes it can be useful to have small connection that make us understand what's going on in other parts of the world. Chain reaction aims really to set a chain reaction. That means that we are here today, but we are bridge, we are connection with other colleagues from our country. And if each one of us is connecting with 3 other persons and sharing information or bringing 3 other persons in this network will continuously be growing. And what is important when you work internationally, when you connect globally, is to understand how the other country system and ecosystem, and cultural ecosystem is functioning. So we have this digital meeting in which we try to share small seeds of information that wants to grow in a forest of connection, like the roots of our forest. So how do we do it? We are 6 festivals. That means I will start, if you think about Italy, it's a kind of a boot. And I will say that during the year, 6 Italian festivals for theater for young audience within the frame of chain reaction with Assitej Italy umbrella, we get together and we try to create this meeting. We travel visiting festival and we try to connect with artists, Italian artists that in fact are today here with us, and to create opportunity of cooperation, connection, traveling and sharing practice and information. In the digital chain reaction meeting, we have a small time, so we are not going deep, but we have the opportunity of getting few information and understanding how the country is functioning. And today we are exploring Asia, just as in a when you open a book and you try to find the good restaurant or the starting point to get in your connection and to start your chain reaction of information and relation with Asian country. The festival, the Italian festival that are today with us, some of them, but basically all of them, we have the directors. Why festival? Because festivals are a driver of connection. When we travel and visit a festival, we get connection with other artists, we have a dialogue within one each other, and we share important information, resources, experience. We have Visioni Festival that is in the period of the beginning of the year, February, March, in Bologna. We have Teatro fra le Generazioni in March. In 1 month you will see it. In Castel Fiorentino, we have Teatri del Mondo in summertime, July, Porto Sant'Elpidio. We have Trallallero Festival in Tarcento, in Friuli, in October. Then we have Segni New Generation Festival, end of October, beginning of November. And then we have Kids, that is in the end of the year, end of December, beginning of January. These are only 6 of the more or less 30 festivals that are not necessarily international in Italy, and that you will have the pleasure to discover if you go on the Assitej website and basically on Chain Reaction website, where you can discover all our festivals. But today, and this is who we are and where we are welcoming you. Now I will let the floor to my dear colleague Shoaib, that is together with me and Seo Kong in Assitej International Executive Committee. This I underline because it's not a detail. We have a mission, we have an honor, but we need also to remember that we are there for you and to share information and driver of connection. So Shoaib, thanks for being today with us and for collaborating to setting this amazing meeting, this chain reaction digital Asian meeting.
Thank you, Christina. I really appreciate you opening the session, and I'm very grateful to all the speakers today, to whom we share a wonderful connection, but also I understand that you all agree to speak for this session, apart from this different crazy time zones that we are working against. I used to based in Pakistan till just last 4 months, but I moved to Auckland. I am part of the executive committee of Assitej International with Christina and Seo Kong. Very briefly, how we were able to put together this wonderful session. So Christina and I spoke when we met in one of the Assitej gathering, that how wonderful it would be to bring some of the Asian festivals to talk about and introduce to some of the European festivals and also artists. So this idea started there, and we thought this would be wonderful to do that. And finally, we are in this hour. I am greatly thankful. We really try to, in terms of the curation, I just would like to share that there are a lot of festivals across the Asian region. But of course, one thing which we tried to do was really understanding how we'll be able to put it together from the Zafri Arif, your
it's done.
Is it okay? So very briefly sharing how we were able to put together the festivals, and of course there are so many festivals, but we thought that the festival should be able to represent Asia and specifically Southeast Asia and South Asia, but also Oceania. Unfortunately, we couldn't have somebody from New Zealand. We have been talking to them. But there's a new festival which is coming up this winter. So, but the previous festival, that was used to be in Wellington, that is coming up. It discontinued after COVID. So one thing which was obvious, that there are so many similarities and there are so many interesting areas where we'll be able to talk about. So we kept it quite open. So we expect a lot of different ways of introduction and sharing. I am grateful again to Adjjima from Thailand, Hisashi Shimoyama, Japan, and then Imran from Pitara from Delhi, Rachel and Ellison couldn't make it for the session, but thank you very much, Rachel. Wonderful festival that is coming out of Singapore, and a song In Hyun from South Korea. Thank you very much for your time again, and looking forward to hear you. Over to you, Christina.
Thank you. So, thank you, Shoaib, for your collaboration. Now we will start our journey, and we will go precisely to Thailand with Adjjima, that I see with really a big pleasure. We met first time during a COVID meeting, and it's really amazing to have you here today and to listen to all the opportunity that your festival will give us. I will start the 7 minutes from now. now, and I will make like this when 5 minutes are passed. Thank you.
Thank you. So I would just kind of like answer the questions without having to show any slides maybe, and then if anything we can just...
We will,
So,
Christina will share, if we have it, the website, and she will put it in the chat so that we can scroll down while the speakers are speaking, if we have any
si
picture.
chiamava quella di thailandese che
Okay.
avevamo incontrato?
This is the
Adjjima.
Bangkok.
Yeah, that's the website. Not quite updated yet, but yeah, because we're making we're having a festival this year, so we kind of like will be updating soon. So I just briefly talk about BICTFest, which stands for Bangkok International Children's Theatre Festival, and it was founded in 2016. It's a biannual international festival based in Bangkok. We have developed programs aside from the festival and have commissioned new productions, a few of which are international co-productions. Theatre or art in general for young people still feel quite niche, especially in Thailand and in Southeast Asia. Therefore, the number of festivals and artists working for young audiences are still pretty small. That's partly why we decided to do the festival. Our aim is not only to promote the importance of children's creativity through theatre. We believe that a festival can highlight the importance of the work in this field, which needs to be encouraged and supported in order to develop, not only in terms of quantity, but also quality. Alongside, we want to expand and develop new audiences of the future. The festival is medium-sized, and we program small to mid-scale performances. We have no venues of our own. Our activity take place at our partner venues, ranging from cultural center, a university theater studio, a private theater, mainly in the center of Bangkok. Our new programs, aside from the festival, take place in schools or community as spaces where we have networks in Bangkok and outside of Bangkok. The venue we work with can host between 50 up to 150 audiences per performance. For the outdoor performance, we could expect to reach 250 maximum capacity to be secure. Our program is for everyone, with a focus on works that are suitable for age 0 to 13 years old. We have created 3 festivals so far, one being online. The work that we have programmed represent diversity, inspiring contents, and highly artistic quality. We would like to present works that widens the perspective about children's theatre in Thailand, but by exposing our audiences to a variety of art forms and contents. We don't normally work with a theme as such. Our international program always includes Thai, Southeast Asian works, and we try our best to make the program represent a wider spectrum of people in the society. Alongside the showcase, invited artists also runs workshop for kids and family, share skills with local artists, engage in talks and topical seminars. We organized also the Asian Theatre for Young Audiences meeting in 2018 for the first time, and plan to do again next year, this year during BICTFest 2024. And that's kind of thanks to Ricca Festa. Really, that's where it all originated. We can kind of talk about it if you're curious about it. And Mr. Shimoyama can also expand. We organize projects during the gap year. These gap year projects have developed to become as equally important as the main festival. Our gap year programs take place alternately from the festival year. BICT on the Move is a mobile project aimed to provide more access to wider demographic and geographical audience segmentations in places that are beyond the cityscape and conventional theatre spaces. Big Bridge, our other project, is a creative exchange project bringing together Thai and international artists on a mission to collaborate in a new project, which should be new production or process-based activity. These projects are also to do with rethinking about how we can make international works are more impactful, relevant to the Thai context, and more sustainable in terms of the outcome. We are privately run and independent with a small core team of 3 all-female members, leading up to around 40 workforces during the festival. We work a lot with international funding bodies, international cultural institutions, and embassies And we have around 10% support only from the Thai government and the public fund. We seek support from corporates and donations. Our source of income is also from ticket sales. However, we're trying to keep our best to keep the price as low as possible so that the festival is accessible to a wider range of audiences. For BICT on the Move, our mobile project, the program is free access. We don't do open call because most of our programs are curated. What we do, well, I don't know what you mean by involved as an operator. Maybe you meant delegate. I don't know. We don't do delegate programs.
Delegate, artist, whatever, how you bridge the connection to others.
I mean, we welcome everyone. We welcome everyone. I mean, we might have a delegate program this year. We're still deciding because, you know, it's quite an extra work for a festival like ours, where the funding is quite, you know, but we kind of thinking about it because we're also running the second Asian TYA meeting at the festival this year. I think the last question, we've got a festival kind of like Muppet, which you could see like from the website maybe, and we call the thing BICT, you know. So I mean, I cannot describe an animal for the festival because we already have our, I don't know how you call it, like the black thing we call BICT. Rachel would know it because she's been to the festival and she knows BICTFest quite well. Yeah. So sorry for kind of like racing through, but yeah, I was trying to answer all the questions that was posted. Yeah.
Yes, thank you, Adjjima. You still have like 1 minute, but for the other colleagues to understand, I ask a few questions to the colleagues so that you can feel the structure of what they do, and we are not losing in 1,000 of words. One thing that is important that I will underline is that we can create cooperation between your festival and the festival that we will speak about after now, Ricca, because the time is more or less the same, the space is not that far away, just to understand, and also that you have an yearly program. So if we want to cooperate with you, what do we need to do? Should we send you an email, a pigeon, a WhatsApp, or whatever? What is the easy thing to do?
Mostly send me email with the work and proposal, maybe. Can I call it proposal? Like, because we have been already kind of applying for funding because there are projects that we are trying to create, like co-production. We are now doing a collaboration, kind of matching a French puppet maker and a Thai choreographer. So, and we also trying to match an NGO network of ours with an Australian artist. So this kind of thing is already in our.
You said that the website is not updated now. Are you communicating what you do on Facebook? Is it readable in English so that we can follow you and understand where to catch up?
Yeah, at Instagram also we mainly in English. Facebook we do both languages. We do both Thai and English as well. And but like I said, most of the thing is curated program. So as of now, it's only when we kind of know of the work, what people do, and we find the match that it could work well. So that's how we kind of like putting people together, because we just kind of like want the work to be fruitful. And we kind of like also, you know, it's kind of like trying to balance what the local Thai audiences and our artists and our network needs, and how we can develop together with our international friends and colleagues as well. So it's kind of like for me at the moment, through kind of like having seen works and what people have done, and then I start to imagine what else could happen. But sometimes, you know, through having read about some of the works, or some people might have like a great idea that kind of like inspiring to me, then yeah, things can be things can happen like that. Yeah.
So our chain reaction suggestion is go on Instagram, check which are the international artists that the Adjjima structure and big festival is collaborating with, and ask for a private interview to those artists and ask them how was the process, so that you can get in a chain reaction process and better understand from the artist's point of view what is going on if you want to cooperate with the Adjjima and her staff. This is, of course, my personal point of view, and it's a kind of chain reaction advices or small tips and tricks to set chain reaction cooperation processes. So let's fly to Japan with Mr. Hisashi Shimoyama and Ricca Festival that is in Okinawa. I will let the time start. The floor is yours.
はい。はい、こんにちは。リッカフェスタの下山久志です。初めての人もいますが、何度もお目にかかっている人もいます。こんにちは。
Some of faces I know very well. Some of you, it's first time to meet with you, and nice to meet you.
はい。私たちのフェスティバルは、一番最初は1994年に開始をしました。2年間続きましたが、その後資金が足らないので、休止になりまして、2005年から復活をして、毎年夏に、7月にフェスティバルをやっております。
Our festival first started in 1994, but then it was difficult to continue the festival because of the financial issues, and the festival restarted in 2005, and since then every year in July we hold a festival.
私たちのフェスティバルの対象年齢は0歳から100歳までです。
Well, the age group that we target is from 0-year-old to 100 years old. This is what we say. It means from baby to elderly people.
そして、私たちのフェスティバルは主にノンバーバルの作品を求めています。日本の作品は別ですけれども、日本以外の作品はほとんどノンバーバルの作品を求めています。
When we program productions, we look for the performances of a non-verbal nature. Of course, it's different for Japanese performances, but regarding the international productions, we always try to find works of a non-verbal type.
毎年、日本を含めて約10カ国から25ぐらいの作品を招待をしています。
Every year, we invite about 25 productions from 10 countries, including Japan.
もちろん作品の上演だけでなく、セミナーやシンポジウム、そしてワークショップなどもあります。
Along with the performances, of course, we host also symposia, seminars, and workshops.
主なスポンサーは国の文化庁です。日本の文化庁です。
Well, our main funding body is the Japan Arts Council, the Ministry of Culture.
あとは、入場料収入と、寄付金によって賄っています。
And also, the ticket sale is also the source of the festival revenue, and also any donation is welcome.
私たちは常に作品を求めています。探しています。私たちの作品に、求めている形は、まずは映像をフェスティバル宛てに送ってもらうこと。 そしてその映像を見て、気に入れば、私自身が現地に行って、作品を見て、最終的に作品を選定いたします。
Please feel free to contact us and please send emails with your full videos of your works. And if we are interested in, particularly in some productions, then the festival producer, Shimoyama, myself, will come to see your production in your country. And then we invite the show.
ですので、作品を、エントリーしてから、だいたい作品を決定するまでに2年間ぐらいの時間がかかります。
So we typically need 2 years before the show is played at our festival, because we first need to select, and then we need to go to see the show physically, and then we decide to invite. So we need some time.
あと、ここの今日参加しているプンフェスティバルの孫さんもそうですけど、私たちは東アジアを中心に主に14のフェスティバルとネットワークを組んで毎年1回総会を開いています。
Here we have our colleague Mr. Son from South Korea. His festival too is part of our partner festival. We are 14 festivals networking together in the eastern area of Asia.
私たちのフェスティバルに、参加をしたい、参加をするということは見に来たいとか視察をしたいというのは大いにウェルカムです。その時は、自費で交通費、ホテル代を持ってもらいますが、フェスティバルのプロフェッショナルチケットというのを提供しておりまして、普通のチケットの約3分の1ぐらいの値段で手に入るチケットを用意しています。
If some of you, the program operators, you say, or producers or artistic directors of the festival, if you are interested in visiting our festival, of course you would need to pay for your travel to Okinawa, and also you need to pay for the accommodation. But the festival can provide with a so-called professional pass, which is very discounted. It's a discounted price pass for seeing all the performances you'd like to.
リッカリカフェスタ2024、今年のフェスティバルは7月の22日から28日までです。毎年7月の最終の週でフェスティバルを開催をいたします。どうぞいらっしゃってくださいませ。以上です。
So, this year, Ricca Festa 2024 will take place in Naha City in Okinawa Prefecture from 22 July to 28 July. And every year, the festival happens at the fourth week, the last week of the July month. So you are all welcome.
Well done. Thank you. So you have a network of 14 festivals from Asia. That sounds like a twin project, as we have the chain reaction network of festival in Italy. So we can plan to connect and to go deeper in this relation and set a new chain reaction process. I will let the floor to someone else. Before I will remember you that you can put the captioning, so you have undertitles, and if we speak slowly, we can read the translation in English that can help to understand and to follow. And you can also save the chat so that you pick up the information that you need. It's not that perfect, but it help. And also on the website, as you have seen, you have all the information and the period, and which is the best period to address an email to you, Mr. Shimoyama. To get connect and to invite you to come to Europe to see things. We can't hear you, Hisashi.
Sorry, Christina, could you please
Yeah, I will make the question
say it
again.
again because it's very
Yeah,
complicated.
I
We are
technicalities.
on phone too.
Yeah, don't worry. I was asking which is the best period to invite Mr. Shimoyama to Europe and to see performances or to visit festivals, so that maybe we can put together an invitation between our network of festivals so that you can travel and be the connection to the 14th festival.
Thank you. Thank you for the suggestion. Wonderful.
We didn't get the answer, but I think it was fantastic for sure, if you say it.
Sorry, maybe I missed something from your conversation. I'm sorry.
Okay, it's fine. Let's go forward. We will have a question. The question is, which is the best period to invite Mr. Shimoyama to come to Europe?
To Europe, sorry, yeah.
Actually, he is everywhere.
Exactly, this is why I'm asking. Maybe there is not a favorite period. Maybe not during the festival, I mean. Maybe not July.
You don't need to invite him. He's there.
He's there. Okay, so let's go forward. And let's travel to Pakistan in this case, even if Shoaib is speaking from another country at the moment. So Shoaib, the floor is yours. I will start to make the time running.
Thank you very much. So I'll speak briefly about Tamasha Festival for young audiences that I was part of the founding team when it was started. So very briefly, a backstory, there was 2014 or 15 when we started to think about setting up Assitej Pakistan, and Imran was part of the EC at that time, and he was the fuel behind the whole conversations that we had at that time. So Assitej Pakistan was formed, and one thing that we started to think that how we are going to engage a lot of people to understand that why theater for young audiences is important, because there was very few companies who were doing that at that time. So Tamasha Festival is a project of Assitej Pakistan, and Little Art is the organization which I founded about 17 years ago. It works with children and young people through arts. So Little Art and 3 other organizations came together. 4 other companies came together to form Assitej Pakistan, and Tamasha became the first performing arts festival. So when we started it, our purpose was that we need to put a focus on a collective focus in terms of bringing a lot of media attention, a lot of people who can talk about why theater and young people and performing arts is important for children and young people. So it does not become small exercise, but there is more to it, and we should have also be able to increase the audience and families. The venues that we had, the 2016 was the first year, and the festival is biannual. So in 2016, our first venue that we had was a huge cultural complex that we have in Lahore. It's called Al Hamra Cultural Complex. It has 4 different auditoriums, gallery spaces, and a lot of smaller spaces. We had the festival there, and the idea was that we can create a festival which also go to other non-conventional places as well. And what we did was that the venues the venues that we thought was part of the part of the city in different ways, and we also started to explore other non-conventional venue. For example, um, uh, a university that might have an infrastructure to present a festival. So the second festival, which was in 2018, happened in a very large arts university, and they also became partner. And this was the reason there was a lot of interesting collaborative, support that came from that institution. So, and then in 2020, when we were preparing for the third festival, COVID happened, but before that, the second festival, we didn't realize that the festival will be international. Even it was the second year, but the second edition. But we were able to make the festival international with the participation of about 10 countries at that time. And then in terms of funding, I mean, it was very crucial. Because we were in the first year, we were unable to raise any money, and there was no government support at that time because the festival was happening at the first time, and it was an Assitej International Pakistan Festival. So all the four companies who were part of it, they supported the festival from their own savings, from the organizational savings. So we put together all of our little money, and then a lot of volunteer efforts and a lot of support that came from different organizations to make this festival happen. And in 2018, we were able to raise some money from corporate sponsorships because people were able to see that there is a greater impact and there is an audience which we are able to bring together. And for the application process for artists, we were already working now for 2024 edition, and the festival will be looking at some. It will be an open application. We will announce that, but we are already looking at some of the productions when I travel or some of our other team members travel. So we are already making our little secret list of the productions and performances that we will be inviting, but there will be an open application as well. In terms of the industry engagement, I think we started to do it from the first year. Even in 2016, the first festival, we hosted the Assitej Asia meeting as well. So Siu Kong and Su, who is the Assitej International President, she was able to, along with our other colleagues, they were able to come to Pakistan for the first festival, even though it was our first festival. So we created a lot of responsibility on our head, but we were able to navigate it through. And we continue to do that. Another important, very important part is that we run the festival every 2 years, but we run next generation program of every year, which means every year we bring young theater makers for to Pakistan. So this is the reason there's a very interesting exchange that happens every year. And then Christina, I would like to share the color and the animal. I would actually thought about green for some reason, because maybe there was a lot of green whenever we think about a festival, because we promote sustainability as well through that. So there's a dominant green we found in the festival. And then the animal, I spoke to some children in the last festival, and they somehow kept mentioning rabbit. I don't know, maybe because it was the venue of the festival, which has a red brick building, and then I can imagine rabbits going around, and a lot of children would also be fascinated by the whole idea. So it would be great to actually invite some of you somehow to the next festival next year in Pakistan.
Good. So let's put this in our agenda, and let's start looking for funding to visit you in Pakistan. Shoaib was saying about this color an animal. I asked to all of you to feel free to share a color that is telling something about your festival and an animal, because it helps also us to remember in an empathic way which is the festival and to fix it in our memory. And also how we perceive colors and how we perceive the role or how the symbol of an animal, it's different in different culture. So it's a shortcut to an empathic sharing to online, and it's an example of how we can have a dialogue through cultural diversity. And thanks, Shoaib, because you were putting the light on the fact that a festival, it's also a time and an opportunity to make advocacy for why and which kind of culture we want for children in different parts of the world. And your experience is really reinforcing our wish to do things, because you were for festivals, for structures sticking together to do this big festival. So this is a model that it's really interesting for us to listen to. So now we go to South Korea, and we have, I doubt of how I can pronounce it. So I will let the floor to Sokong, that is the interpreter, and I will let you the floor. Let's travel to South Korea.
안녕하십니까. 코리아 한국 품앗이 공연예술축제 송인현입니다.
Hello, everybody. I'm Song In Hyun from Festival Pumashi.
제가 나이가 들어서 그런지 이거를 연결하는 방법을 아직 잘 몰라서요. 제가 아까 시작하기 전에 막 시도를 해봤는데 제 홈페이지를 여러분들한테 오픈하는 거를 실패했습니다.
Yeah, I actually failed to show our homepage, so I'm not good at the techniques, so I feel sorry about that.
Christina will do it, don't worry.
Okay.
Okay.
It's all, I think it's all Korean.
Okay.
한국말로 해주세요.
근데 거기에 지금 축제 부분이 어디로 들어가 있는지를 제가 아까 찾다가
네네.
예.
계속 하시죠.
네. 그래서 저는 이런 연극 마을을 하나 운영하고 있습니다.
We runs a village, theater village, as located in countryside actually.
네. 두 번째 연극 마을, 두 번째. 다음에는 이걸 영어로 꼭 해보도록 하겠습니다.
Yeah, we will put it in English on my homepage.
예. 이 품앗이 공연예술축제는 지금 15회째 하고 있습니다.
The festival starts 15 years ago. Started 15 years ago.
저희 축제는 지금 처음에 ATYA로 멤버로 해서 오키나와 리카리카와 같이 그 멤버십을 갖고 있고, 나중에 얘기할 것 같은데 피트라, 인도의 피트라와 주로 축제 전에 레지던스를 해가지고 축제를 같이 확장시키는 작업을 해오고 있습니다.
선생님, 제가 쓴 그 순서에 따라 좀 해주시죠.
그래요?
예.
지금 예, 알겠습니다.
We are a member of the 14 Asian Theater Network, and we strongly work with Ricca and Pitara with Imran did, and we run a residency program with Pitara.
Yeah.
Am I sound pronounce right? Or don't know.
장소는 매우 시골에 있기 때문에 주로 아주 야외 공연이 많고 극장도 되게 작은 극장에서 공연을 하고 있습니다.
We located in countryside, so most of the show is outdoor, but we have only small spaces. Some shows we do on small indoor space, theater space.
예, 보통 우리가 이제 대상으로는 초등학교 3학년 보통 10세 전후한 아이들이 메인이고, 때로는 베이비 드라마도 하고 있습니다.
Our target audience is under 10, and some we do some production quite early years, for early years as well.
예, 예산 구조는 그렇게 넉넉한 편은 아니지만, 어떻게든 꾸려갈 수 있을 정도는 되고 있습니다.
그걸 구체적으로 좀 얘기를 해주세요.
구체적으로요?
그러니까 뭐
한국 돈으로 얘기하면 될까요? 한 1억,
아니
1억 2천.
그런 뜻이 아니라 그 소스가 뭔지.
시에서 반 정도, 그다음에 아르꼬라고 그 국가에서 한 반 정도 지원을 받아서 운영하고 있습니다.
We get funded from the Arts Council Korea, half, and also the city government, half. So it's not so big money, but our funding is mainly coming from the subsidy from government.
저희 축제는 그 장소가 협소하거나 장소가 열악하기 때문에 예술 감독이 모든 작품들을 직접 보고 선택하는 걸 원칙으로 하고 있습니다.
Yeah, our production is our space is quite small, so we don't do any open call. So artist director only curate everything.
왜냐면 그 작품의 규모를 극장의 구조에 맞추려면은 예술 감독이 직접 봐야만 하기 때문입니다.
Because our space is quite unique, so we have artist director should decide because of the venue.
물론 우리 제 사정을 잘 알고 있는 친구들이 소개를 해주시기도 합니다.
Yeah, our Korean colleague introduce some production as well.
네. 그리고 저희 축제는 그동안에 이제 해외 델레게이트들도 몇 분 오시긴 했는데 아주 시골이기 때문에 민박을 해야 되기 때문에 오시는 분들한테 되게 미안해서 그런 그 조건을 갖고서 초청을 하고 있습니다.
Yeah, it's a bit remote from the city, so it's quite difficult to invite international guests because there is a accommodation is mainly problematic. There is no hotel around there, so only some the festival runs some place to sleep, so it's quite limited guest we only invite. But 근데 그 레지던시 프로그램 운영하시는 거 좀 자세히 말씀해 주세요.
축제 전에는 이제 아시아 레지던시를 하는데 주로 우리 피타라와 같이 시작을 했습니다.
1분 남았대요. Yeah, only 1 minute left.
네.
And just before the festival, we run a residence program, mainly focus on Asian countries with the Pitara festival in India.
그래서 주로 아시아 예술가들이 모여서 한 4주 동안 워크숍을 하고 그 워크숍 내용을 축제 동안에 발표하고 있습니다.
We run a workshop for 4 weeks, and during the workshop we produce some showcase and we showcasing at the festival.
예, 여러분들이 열악한 환경이지만 와주실 수 있으면 언제든지 환영합니다.
We are always welcome you, but even though we have a small space, but I think it's great to see around the countryside in Korea.
기쁜 소식 하나는 내년부터는 도시에서도 조금 큰 규모로 할 테니까 그때는 이제 여러분들을 아마 다른 해외 팀들도 더 많이 초청할 수 있을 것 같습니다.
어떤 도시 말씀하시는 거예요?
화성 동탄에서.
예. And next year we have a good news. We can we can host another place like a neighboring city. So we can invite you because there is some hotel. So it's it may be good news for you.
Good. So
Thank you.
thank you so much. I believe in the chat we have your email and that we can write you to ask you when to come and to send you information. And I will say that this festival and this project is a rural project, and we have here, for example, a festival that is kind of the same approach and inspiration, that is Trallallero. That is a festival in not in a small village, but I see that you can be twinning as an inspiration. So now you spoke also about Pitara festival. So now the floor will be open to Imran Khan, that I welcome in this wonderful meeting. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, a very good afternoon, everyone. It's very difficult for me just to speak for 7 minutes. Those who know me, they know I can speak and speak and speak, but I will try to finish everything in 7 minutes. Okay, so my name is Imran Khan, and can I share the screen?
Yes, you can.
Yes. Are you able to see my screen now? No, you cannot.
Not yet.
No, actually it says no. If I will share my screen, then it will stop your recording.
Wow, strange.
Yeah.
Very
So
strange.
anyway, so
Do you want to put me in, put the file in the chat? That will do it for you.
yeah, maybe that's possible.
Or maybe everyone can open it from the chat anyway.
Try again. Just one time.
Okay. Yes, I think now it's open.
Okay, I changed something. Good.
Yeah. So are you able to see the screen?
Yes, yes.
Okay. All right. So we have Pitara International TYA Festival in New Delhi, India. This festival is not very old. It was initiated in the year 2019. However, the seed of this festival was sown in the year 2014 when Assitej India hosted Assitej International Executive Committee. When I was a part of it in 2014, Assitej India started this festival called Tifli. It was a big festival which ran for 4 years. And we invited teams from across the world. We had performances from South Korea, Japan, Denmark, Germany, Italy, USA, Sri Lanka, Iran, and all those places. However, in 2017, when I stepped down as the president of Assitej India, and we had a new board, and as it happens most of the time, with the new board, you have new priorities and new exciting things. So unfortunately, the Tifli Festival did not continue beyond 2017. In 2018, I started getting calls from the hundreds of schools who were bringing their children to our festival, and they said, why your festival is not happening? We want to bring our children. It was so good. It was so wonderful. So I really felt the need of that festival because I felt it was unfair to the children of Delhi and around who were getting the dose of TYA, which was an absolutely specially curated festival for them. We need to bring back something. So within my own organization, that is Theatre Eye Entertainment Trust, we decided to bring back another festival, though we wanted to name it Tifli, but because of copyright reason, we couldn't name our festival Tifli again because that was with Assitej India. So in 2019 was born Pitara International TYA Festival. We collaborated with the various international culture center. One of them, the most exciting one and the most supporting one, is the Korean Culture Center, because that's my second home, Korea. And for many years, we've been collaborating with the Mindule Theatre and Pomashi and Assitej Korea. Whenever I'm in trouble, these people are my go-to people, my Korean friends, Korean families. So we always had a Korean production in our festival, and Mr. Song has always been part of it. He's been an advisor to many of our projects. So this was our first festival in 2019. We have various things in the festival, not only just performances. We have these lovely art competitions for children. We have traditional artist parades. We have workshops and so many other things. So as 2019 went really great for us, the world was hit by Corona in 2020. So there was no possibility of doing the festival, but the artists in India were going through a very rough time, as they had nothing to perform, they had nothing to show, and they required financial support. So we decided to host Pitara again, this time online. It was done on YouTube, and contacted our friends from across the globe who will be happy to donate one performance free of cost to our festival. And all the money that we will raise for this festival will go to support artists who were in trouble during the COVID period. And so we decided to continue, and Mr. Song, his team was there. Another storyteller from from Ireland was there. And for 2 years, we could not do it for financial reason. And also, especially in 2021, the things were not clear whether world was online or world was offline. So for 2 years, the festival couldn't happen. But this year, again, we made a comeback in 2023. The Pitara was back. And because India and Korea were celebrating 50 years of diplomatic relations, so this year, the festival focus was South Korea. And we had 3 Indian performances and 2 South Korean performances. Amazing atmosphere, amazing festival that we had. Some wonderful workshops for adults as well as for families, for children, and thousands of children who came to watch these shows. As you can see, our venue is a place called National Bal Bhavan, or National Children's Home, which has amazing venues. It has this proscenium. It has a hall which we convert into a black box. It has a huge amphitheater which can seat up to 1,000 children. But as of now, we've been using only 1 or 2 venue. But in future, we will be using many more venues. If I can see all the questions that you have asked. Okay, application process. Okay, funding mechanism. Yeah, funding mechanism is something that I'm still trying to understand. We have had support from International Culture Center, but unfortunately not much support from the government. But we work with our international partners and work with them to raise funds for their travel, for their fees, with their government, with our government, with other international cultural centers. That's how we receive our funding, and we bring private schools to watch shows, and they pay us money. So from that money, we support the festival. But to children coming from the government school and underprivileged background, for them, festival is completely free. In fact, in a lot of time, we support their travel also to make sure that each child is getting the dose of TYA, whatever be their social, cultural, or economical background. So this year, we receive a lot of person donations from people. And that's how we could bring out of 4,000 children who came to watch the show, 1,000 were from the government sector. All of their tickets were free of cost, which was supported by a lot of individuals and friends. And we would continue doing that in the near future as well. Now, the next question is choose if you had to choose how to get involved. Yes, of course, if you would want to involve with our festival, write to us. Our email address is pitaratya@gmail.com. We're gonna work together with you. We will see what we can do, what you can do to make sure that you make effort to come to our site. We are free. Ideally, a lot of time people prefer non-verbal performances because of the different region. India, we are very, very comfortable with English. That is also possible. But this year we had a performance in Korean. So Mr. Song performed in Korean with a simultaneous translation by me in Hindi. So we are also open for other language performances. That is also possible. So we are gonna make Pitara this year again bigger and better. Dates for our festival are end of November and the beginning of December. We are still looking for shows for this year's festival. Now, the color and the animal. So the color, I have never thought in those lines about the color and animals. Then I spoke to my advisor, and my advisor is my 10-year-old son. So he said, in terms of color, it should be yellow because it's joyful. And for animal, he said a caterpillar. He said, because when Pitara was born, it was like a small cocoon. And in 3 years, it has transformed into a caterpillar. And very soon, we would like to see it now again transform into a bigger and a beautiful butterfly. So as of now, we are a caterpillar.
Hi, good afternoon. It's almost good evening in Singapore. It's 6:20 p.m. Lovely to be here and seeing so many familiar faces. I'm Rachel. I'm here on behalf of Esplanade Theatres on the Bay, which is Singapore's National Performing Arts Centre. Ellison can't be here, and Ellison is the Assitej Singapore representative. So Esplanade is also a key member of Assitej Singapore, so I will wear both hats today. Assitej Singapore as a national centre is quite new, and we're really active and banding together. And March On is one of the events that every year a lot of local Singapore TYA practitioners come together in many forms together. And we had the pleasure of having Seok Kong here with us last year at March On. And hope to see many of you again in the future years. So a little bit about what the festival is. I think we are quite new as compared to everyone here. Esplanade is 22 years old, but March On has only been introduced in 2021 during the pandemic. It has always been in the plans to have big scale TYA festival within Esplanade. And we didn't want to put it further, even though we were facing the pandemic and having very, very strict safe distancing measures, which was really counterintuitive to TYA practice. When we talk about a lot about interaction and participation with children audiences. So we inaugurated Regardless in 2021, and it is Esplanade's intentional and multidisciplinary and participatory arts festival. And it's specially designed to inspire and engage young audiences. And March On aims to provide a safe space for the intentional expression of young people's voices. It accomplishes this through a fully curated and programmed high-quality arts experiences by both local and international artists. And we foster discussions, explorations, and excavations of real-world issues that matter deeply to the young and the young ones. So the name March On is named as such because we are in the month of March. We typically start from the 2nd to the 3rd week of March, but also when we were dreaming up the festival, we also asked ourselves, who are we marching for? Especially when we represent the very young ones, and in this very, I guess, in such a strange world that we are living in now, how do we make the voices of the young matter? And so this is really important to the festival, how we can be collaborative with children, between artists, how we can be conscious of how the festival and all of us within the festival exist within the world and ourselves. and how can we be children-centric at the same time. So the 3 C's, conscious, collaborative, and children-centric, is essentially the identity of the festival. The objectives of the festival is to let children be heard and to grow artistic community locally, regionally, and internationally to create meaningful works for children. And we champion the best in the practice and standards and quality, and always putting children first. Our audiences includes schools, families, as well as adults who are educators, caregivers, parents, as well as facilitators in the social service agencies, social service sector. And the works we do, a lot are co-created with children or between artists. There's a lot of collaboration, artistic collaboration involved. And a lot of the works are children-led. So we do have a children's panel where a panel of children come together to lead activities on their own. Of course, they are guided and facilitated by some artists, but being children-led is really important to the festival. And there's also a strong professional and capability development portion of the festival where we invite artists or international artists to conduct masterclasses and workshops within the festival. So we do have, we have had the pleasure of Sue Giles leading a masterclass last year. This year we will have Theatre Madam Bach from Denmark, as well as Glenn Walton from Playable Streets, Australia, who will be within the festival to share more about their practice with our local practitioners. So unlike many standalone festivals, we do exist within the structure of the organization. So as a National Performing Arts Center, Esplanade does not just present works for TYA. So we do have cultural festivals. Right now we have the Chinese Cultural Festival because it's Chinese New Year. But we also have genre-focused festivals like jazz, dance, as well as a sacred music festival, for example. So TYA is there's a group of 6 to 7 programmers in that program specially for TYA in Esplanade. So we just exist within this larger organization. So we share the venues with everyone in Esplanade. We do have very, very huge venues in an opera theater that sits 2,000. A concert hall that sits 1,006, but of course it's really difficult to find to present works for children of that scale. So increasingly we are commissioning and producing a lot more so that we can have children existing within that space to have that communal experience when they come to a festival. A large bulk of the programs for the younger Esplanade happens within the smaller studios, the black boxes, as well as outdoors and around different corners all around, including basement, a corner in the car park, in the garden, all around Esplanade. We are quite blessed because in terms of funding, we draw down from what has been funded to the organization. A large part of the funding also comes from the Singapore Lottery Fund, which, I think a lot of countries get arts funding from the lottery. And a large percentage of it comes from ticket sales as well as corporate sponsorships and donations. And if you're talking about an animal, then I will show you this animal that I think best represents us. I had to ask my colleague whether this is an animal, but this is Pip. Pip is a buddy that we have created, an Esplanade that represents children and it's a child's friend whenever you attend a program at Esplanade. We don't know what animal Pip is, but it is an animal and it has all colors. So all the colors on Pip will represent us. And if you like, the festival is fully programmed and curated by the team of programmers, but we're always keen to find out more about what's happening. And if you have some proposals or keen to work on something together, just write to us. I'll put my email in the chat box. Thank you.
Thank you. And we are there. It's 11:29, so we made it. I will just remember you that in March we have in Italy 2 festivals. One is Visioni from the 12 to the 19th of March, and then we go to in Bologna, and then we go to Florence, near Florence, Castel Fiorentino, with the Teatro fra le Generazioni, that is from the 22nd to the 26th. Then in March, you will be happy to follow us in our chain reaction dialogue journey, because we will travel to those countries that are based on Spanish language. So we will collaborate with Bebe de Suarez and Amazonas Network, as we did with Shoaib, and we will select a few festivals in Brazil, Argentina, Chile, and we will travel to this side of the world. So go on our chain reaction website that you find in the chat and check the agenda. That there is a calendar in which you can see all the meeting that we are setting. And we discovered 6 festivals in Asia, as we have 6 festivals in chain reaction in Italy. So we will pick up one of you and we will connect directly so that we can deeply set our chain reaction process to really connect Assitej Italia network of members and in Europe through Assitej International to create connection and cooperation. Thank you so much to all of you, and remember that you can listen again to this meeting that will be on the YouTube channel of Assitej Italia. So you will find there all the information. Thank you, and thank you, Shoaib, for this wonderful cooperation.